an engineer by training, but I have a joint appointment between the engineering school and the management school. And turns out my research is actually on the topic of innovation and entrepreneurship. And this is the topic I study for my research as well as teach courses around that. So it's very natural for me to think about innovations that are really changing the world, changing society, creating a lot of social and economic benefit. And we are in a period of time right now for the last 20, 30 years, it feels like going back to the Renaissance, the emergence of the printing press, the internet is fundamentally changing every aspect of society.
Okay.
And just watching this is one of my major thrills. A bad sleeper. I don't sleep much, but I sleep well during the limited time I sleep. But still, I might say, although I'm an engineer by training, I look at what technology is doing. In some ways, it's making us more productive. But I worry about a point in time where technology is just so super capable, and we humans are limited. I mean, you look at games like chess and Go, that humans have been completely decimated by computers, and more areas are going to have this replacement of humans by computers. And I do work with a lot of developing countries like orphanages in India, and I see these kids that are coming up, what kind of future are they going to have? That is something that I worry about. Hobby, I like reading, and I like classical music. And especially during this pandemic times, it's been very quiet to do both of these things. Actually, this week I'm reading the just released Obama book, The 900-page Promised Land. It's really fantastic to read that. And there's also tons of music that people are putting out on social media and whatnot. So those keep me going. I also like to follow sports, tennis and many of the American sports like football and basketball. So, and I like to exercise, go out for walking, learn about new stuff, like philosophy, for example, something I did not specialize in, but these days it's very easy to kind of follow new developments. Ultimately, all of us want to make a contribution, however, much it can be. Even if it's a small contribution, you want to leave the world a better place. I consider myself blessed. I came from a very modest background, and I was fortunate to get a great education and mentorship from people, who are kind to me. And I hope to give back to the world as well. And at this point, actually, as I was mentioning before, I look at the massive amount of challenges around the world, in developing countries like, in Asia and Africa. There are many people that are barely scrambling by, and especially after COVID, they've gotten really badly hit. So whatever little we can do to help them. So actually, I'm part of a foundation that I created to use the internet to teach children in some of these underprivileged communities in remote parts of India, like villages, the southernmost tip of India. So that's far away from us as you can imagine. But it's really very exciting to see us being able to make a difference. So a few months ago they were like completely stranded. They had no classes. All classes are shut down, and now we are using the internet to teach them maths and English and sciences, and it's really good to see the progress. So yeah, any contribution that we make is always very welcome. I find my students inspiring, community entrepreneurs inspiring. I'm part of a group here in San Diego called Tech Coast Angels. It's one of the big angel investment communities. And we see so many new ideas coming through for investment. And it's really inspiring to see how creative people are. I study this area, but I'm not as creative as some of these individuals are. And it's always, exciting to see these ideas, becoming products and ventures.